Restoration is brought to you by
Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yes, extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Tasty Tom new seasoning powder. Flavor and taste.
It's a beautiful moment to come your way because every time we are on your screen, we get to connect with you through our stories and through the experiences our guests get to share on this show. This is Restoration with Stacey. We're brought to you by Kind Courtesy, Malta Guinness, Tasty Tom, Hisense, everyday prizes for everyday people, Yas washing powder and Yas sanitary pad, Hooch Corn and Choco Flakes, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Teflon Suites located in Ahojo, Kumasi. And today, I want to say a very big thank you to a special lady. Yes, if you see everything I'm rocking in terms of my accessories, it's coming from my very own Selina Beb. Yes, and this is so beautiful. It's from the Awariso collection. Most of our brides are doing kente, but you don't really see them rock our accessories. And I think this is a time for us to really prove that we are indeed indigenous Ghanaian. I mean, like, we Ghanaians, we should rock it. We should rock our beads with our kente like I'm doing today. And my beautiful outfit is from ABS Lux line, Ophelia. Thank you very much. To Hair Duties, thank you for my hair. To Tinach Beauty, thank you for my makeup and that of my guest. And of course, Stars Hair for always ensuring my wigs are looking very well styled. We'll be right back after this break.
Hisense kitchen appliances. Imagine no yambre. So we breakfast anopa. Ube here Hisense juicer, Hisense toaster. Opesa mixing. Ube here Hisense blender, hand mixer. Oh no more. Hisense rice cooker. So open your share. Announce your Hisense water dispenser. Any kettle. Where do you need to opesa kanishi? A Hisense microwave. Opesa chia the intentem so dia. Hisense air fryer. Now person steamer there. Anyway, Hisense steamer. Use Hisense vacuum cleaner. Hohronchensi ni musun tempa. Hisense dishwasher. Atade de betumi ayefe. Hisense iron. Abatnitin in kama. Your gas cooker, electric cooker, and ceramic hobs. Matiti to say, boom! Everything 28th March, I come 8th April, and your Hisense kitchen appliance promo. Hisense require 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ofa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yan kwani stew dodoa ope.
Tasty Tom dear. It will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix inti. Me handwriting and sada. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Tasty Tom is giving out cash in the Tasty Tom Juiceika promo. Just check under the lid. When you buy a big can of Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can win from 5 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis cash with over 70,000 cash prizes available. Present your winning lead at any of our distributors' points nationwide to redeem your cash instantly through mobile money or call toll-free line 055 66 38794 for assistance.
Promo lasts from now to March 2025. Terms and conditions apply. This advert is FDA approved.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month? Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort. I got yes, confidence. I got yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow. Yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month? Yes.
I got yes, confidence. I got
Yes.
we got yes, protection. I got
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
we got yes, protection.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
You like no other.
you are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other. I can sing. I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie.
Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie beef flavor. Buy now.
This advert is FDA approved.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
You like no other.
you are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other. I can sing. I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie.
Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie beef flavor. Buy now.
This advert is FDA approved.
Yes, baby.
Honey, men wash your way. Men to take away our back.
He's eating out again. Nancy, me trying tasting kuyi.
Tasty Tom.
Tasty Tom. Add the new seasoning powders about chicken, stew, jollof, shrimp, beef. The way it enhances the natural aroma. Tasty Tom, dear. I trust them. And there is no staining of fish, meat, or chicken. Why didn't you just sharp? Me need also.
Tasty Tom seasoning powder. Ooh.
New aroma.
New taste.
New taste from Tasty Tom, new seasoning powder.
Maybe I need
Maybe I'm not for anyway. Tasty Tom new seasoning powder. Flavor and taste are fun. This advert is FDA approved.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ofa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yan kwani stew dodo a ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix into. Me handwriting and sada. Then I need the nebian sanity. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Tasty Tom is giving out cash in the Tasty Tom Juiceika promo. Just check under the lid. When you buy a big can of Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can win from 5 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis cash with over 70,000 cash prizes available. Present your winning lead at any of our distributors' points nationwide to redeem your cash instantly through mobile money or call toll-free line 055 66 38 794 for assistance.
Promo lasts from now to March 2025. Terms and conditions apply. This advert is FDA approved.
It takes a lot of passion to drop everything around you and focus on one thing. My guest today is one of the most determined women I've ever met. She found her love for something, stuck to it, lived with it, improved and nurtured it. And today, she's not just a local brand, but an international brand. Please, I told you already, very Ghanaian. It's because of her I'm looking this regal today with my accessories. My guest for today is Selina Beb. Selina, it's been forever.
I know.
Not that forever.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we met was in your shop when you gave me that beautiful kaftan.
I know.
That's my favorite dress, with the beads.
Yes, all the embellishments.
I'm telling you. I wore it
so
to
well.
Marseille. And people are like, EFO. And I'm like, yeah, Selina, babe.
Thank you.
It's so cute. I think one day you should make me another one on the show.
I will.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's really beautiful.
In a different color.
Yes, in a different color. Maybe this time a brighter color.
Sure.
Now I'm trying new things, so I'm no longer afraid of wild colors.
Good. I'll sort you out.
Oh, please sort me out. How have you been, my love?
I've been good, Stacey. I've been good. I did.
You're not just there. You are like thriving. You're really
by the grace of
working, and you're really pushing your dreams. The first time I saw you, the passion with which you spoke about accessories and how they just make a dead outfit come alive. I was watching, I was like, hey, Ray, accessories from passion, and you have actually stuck with it and you have evolved through it. What gave you that love for accessories?
Honestly, I think it's probably my size. I've always been on the large size since I was young. From teenage years, I've always been sort of medium to large. And so I used to find it hard to find clothes in my size, as in trendy and fashionable, stylish clothes. And I'm not just a big woman. I'm well endowed in the chest area as well.
Full package.
So that made it even more difficult for me to get, trendy clothes to wear. So I think that's what developed my passion for accessories. Because with accessories, it doesn't matter what size you are, whether you're large, small, extra small, medium, you can rock any accessories. Like the necklace you're wearing, which is from Selina Bed. I can rock it. You can rock it as well. So I think that's what made me love accessories, because I realized I can always wear boring clothes and then I would jazz it up with some lovely, colorful, trendy accessories. And we big women as well, we like wearing black, dark colors. My father hates that. So I try to wear colorful clothes now because my father doesn't like it when I wear dark clothes because, typical Ghanaian, we feel like...
We also brighter kakra.
Anytime you wear black, people are like, did you go to a funeral? Who died? Are you bereaved? Yeah. So that is what made me develop. I think that's what arose that passion in me for accessories, because they just make any outfit come alive, just like you said. They make him look more trendy, more fashionable, and any boring outfit at all can definitely look more interesting when you accessorize it the right way.
Wait, how did it start? I mean, to have a vision of something is one thing, and bringing it to life is another. So how did it start?
It's a long story, but I'll try and summarize it. So it started from when I was working in the media. But first of all, I think I need to give a little background. So my parents wanted me to be a lawyer. So I went to the UK right after secondary school. And I went to secondary school, not SSS or SHS.
Yes, we are the secondary school members.
So after secondary school, after sixth form, my father asked, what do you want to study? And I said, I want to be Oprah Winfrey. I used to watch the Oprah Winfrey show. I just loved the way she conducted her talk show with the audience and how she was impacting lives. So I remember back then, all I wanted to do was to be on TV, be a TV presenter, hosting a talk show and all that. So I said, I want to do broadcast journalism because I want to be the Oprah Winfrey of Africa. And my dad was like, are you sure? I think you should be a lawyer. You like talking, you like arguing, you're smart. I think you can be a fine lawyer. So my dad managed to persuade me to study law, because he said to me, if you do law, then I'll take you to the UK. But if you want to go with this,
you hear UK.
Who doesn't want to go study in the UK? So he was like, if you want to do law, journalism, then go to
you are here. You are going to GIG.
Stay here. So I said, please, I'll do law. Because at the time I thought it was prestigious, and I remember back then I used to listen to the KSM show back in the late 90s. He had a show on Vibe FM and I used to listen and I used to call in. So I remember I spoke to KSM and he said, law is a good thing. It's a good springboard that will take you into other areas.
You can do your law and still come back to me.
So if your father wants you to do law, go ahead and do the law. I'm sure you might end up loving it and then you become a fine lawyer, or you can branch into something else. Yeah. So I studied law. But after the undergrad, Stacey, I just realized it wasn't for me. I found it too boring.
You were a round peg in a square hole.
Pepe. Pepe, I just wanted to talk and be on TV. And this law thing, reading all the... When I see how thick those law books are, now I'm scared.
You get frustrated.
I get frustrated. So I really did not enjoy studying law. I even struggled with my degree. So after the degree level, I said to my father, please let me follow my, true passion, which is the media, journalism. And
through the struggle,
yes.
Did Daddy see that this was not your forte? And it looked like he was just pushing you beyond your limits.
Now he sees it. Back then he didn't. Back then he was very disappointed. He felt like I'd wasted money and time studying for 3 years. I really took a year out when I was at uni, so my degree actually took 4 years instead of 3 years. And, so he was very disappointed because, you see, my dad had a secret dream of becoming a lawyer himself.
Okay.
And then when he applied to the university, he was given political science instead of law. So I think he wanted to live his dream through me.
You.
Yes. And so honestly, he was very disappointed. Very, very. It took years for him to get over it. Yes. And it was such a big blow for him because he had such high hopes that I was going to be a lawyer and I was going to be like, a really fine lawyer and all that. But now he sees that wasn't for me. And sometimes he says, I think I should have allowed you to follow your passion, earlier. But you know what? God's timing is the best. I believe it came at the right time. So after the whole law thing, I was told to stay in England and hustle. So I ended up being in England for 11 years. Yes, because, my father didn't.
He was not ready to see you.
That's it. He didn't want to see me in Ghana. He says he doesn't know how to explain to people that I draw and law in Ibium. Everybody be like, but we thought, I'm Adjoa, my local name is Adjoa, but we thought Adjoa was studying law. How come she's back in Ghana and she's doing journalism or whatever? Anyways, after 11 years, my mother, my late mom, God rest her soul, and my auntie managed to convince him that, let this girl come back to Ghana. Let her come and start all over again. Let her do the media that she wants to do. You never know, she will excel. You probably end up seeing her on the BBC or CNN. So he finally gave in. He said, okay, come back home.
After 11 years.
After 11 years. So I came back home. I put myself through school. Again. I got trained at GBC training school, and then I went to GIJ to do a top-up degree.
Where he was avoiding.
Ended up at GIJ. You see the irony of it all. Yes, I went to GIJ, did another degree in journalism, and then I started working in the media. So initially I was at GBC Unique FM, did a bit of TV work on GTV, and then I moved to Radio XYZ. When Radio XYZ first started, I was one of the pioneers. I hosted a mid-morning show, and then an entertainment show, and then a relationship show as well. So basically I was doing talk shows and some music shows, but on radio, not TV.
And you were doing it effortlessly because that was your passion.
I really loved it, honestly. I still miss, working on radio and in the media. But in 2012, when I first moved to Radio XYZ, that is when the fashion world came calling. With radio, you only have maybe a 2-hour program a day, and then the rest of the day you're free. So I started getting bored, and I'm like, you know what, there's more I can do. And then I realized also that when I moved back to Ghana in 2008, I came back in 2008, the African print accessories were really trendy. People were using African print to do bags in particular. They were using them to do necklaces. They were using them to do cushion covers, belts, shoes. And so I thought, wow, this is fascinating. And I used to buy them. I used to buy all these African print bags. People always see me and I'm always holding some into my bag. And then people started asking, why are you always holding these African print bags? Do you make them yourself? I'm like, no, I bought them from so and so. So, I was marketing them from other people. And then one day I just woke up and I thought, you know what? Maybe I can even make a career out of this. This can be like a hobby or a side gig thing.
Gig for you.
Yes. Because Stacey, like I told you, from my teenage years, I've always loved accessories. And I love bags, bags in particular. And I remember as a teenager, I always used to say, one day I'll go to Italy and produce my own range of handbags made with Italian leather, very high quality. Yes. And I have a boutique at Heathrow Airport and JFK in America. So when big dreams. So when I started thinking about these African print bags and accessories, I thought, you know what, maybe that dream I had many years ago as a teenager is knocking. I don't need to wait till I'm much older, and I feel like when I'm like maybe 50s and I'm so rich, then I'll go to Italy and produce. And I thought, you know what, I can actually produce locally using genuine leather, because I love leather bags, fused with these African prints, because some of the ones that were on the market at the time had poor finishing.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, I can do it and make it better. And that's how it started. So whilst I was working on radio, I started doing research on how to make bags. I started sourcing for material, and I started with just handbags. And then as time went on, I added the accessories, as in the jewelry. Bags, that was accessories, but the jewelry in particular, so I started doing the wrist beads, the necklaces, earrings. I even started doing tab cases, iPad cases, and then I added footwear. And then guess what, Stacey? Now I even make clothes. So I'm wearing Selina Babe today.
Yeah, once I saw the blinks, I'm like, this is her.
Yes. So that's how it started for me.
Starting with the bags. It meant you were competing with the Gucci's, the Louis, and all of that, because most girls would want to rock their Chanel, their Dior, their Gucci. But you were bringing some finesse to our African prints made in bags. How were you able to convince your clients to just rock this because it's equally good as the ones they have in their wardrobes?
Right, Stacey. So how I was able to convince people or get people to buy my products or believe in them is the way I branded them. Like you mentioned, the Gucci's and the Louis Vuittons, they were sort of my role models, the kind of quality I aspired to have for my brand. And so I make sure that whenever I was branding myself, I was looking at these international brands, seeing how they were doing it, seeing how they do their packaging, so I believe I was
giving them a run for their money.
Exactly. So I believe I was one of the first people in Ghana to actually put my bags into a dust bag, because I realized, fortunately for me, because I lived in England, and back then I used to work 2 jobs sometimes, so I was able to buy some of these real designer bags. And so when I buy them, I see the packaging. They come in a dust bag, they come in a box, you get a card with it telling you how to maintain the bag and all that, safety card. And so I did all that when I started. I had all these little cards in my bag. And so it was the way I branded them. People were interested to know, what is this? The way I even packaged them. And then also, because I was working on radio, I was a bit known. You, Stacey, you knew me.
Yes,
I used to buy stuff from Stacey's boutique.
Yes. And you should patronize our online store.
I will.
And I think we can even collaborate to do something.
Sure.
Yeah, we
definitely.
can.
I believe in collaboration.
I remember back then, you'd come to the shop and pick a piece, and you just put accessories on it, and you're like, it's a deal. This is what I'm wearing. I'm
exactly.
Like, into the attire accessories. Every fear, a combination. And it was so... I used to watch you with a lot of admiration because you find the dress, you're like, okay, Stacey, I'll be back tomorrow. And you come back the next day with your accessories and you pair everything. Sometimes you put a necklace on the dress, like, no, this one. So I was always like, Selina, baby, I just ordered the jewelry.
I'm styling myself right there at Stacey's boutique. Yes. So I was a bit known, so luckily I had some of my friends who were celebrities or in the media and they promoted my work. They would grant me interviews, chip in some promotional thing here and there for me.
And post
and
and
rock them,
you.
thank you, and post and tag me. So that gave me some exposure as well. So it made people think that, ooh, who is this Selina Babe? So there were some people that just wanted to own a piece because they had heard about Selina Babe. And when I started out, I said to myself, I want to be the best accessories designer in Africa, not just Ghana. So I really had high aspirations and hopes for my brand, and I made sure I worked towards that. So that is how I got people to believe in the brand. It was the way I branded them and the way I got my friends in the media to hype my products, and I put myself out there as well. Whenever I heard of any exhibition, any fashion show, I would sign up and go for it, just so I could get that exposure, so people get to know about the brand.
Were there times you felt like giving up?
Oh, yes. Many, many times. The question you just asked before, how do you get people to believe in you? Yes, there were some that were willing to support widows doing this made in Ghana. And there were many back then too that were like made in Ghana snobs. It was like, it's made in Ghana, so it's poor quality. I'm not buying that. So in the beginning, I think the very first year, I struggled because I've already told you about how my parents, and my father in particular, had a dream of me becoming a lawyer. So when I came back home and I said, I want to do media, and then I started doing the media work, and they thought I was doing well. Then one day I got up and I said, I want to be a designer. Stacey, trust me, both of them, back then it was more my dad that was disappointed, but this time even my mom was upset. She was like, what's wrong with you? They felt like I was confused. We said do law, you agreed. You abandoned it and went to media. Media is picking up. Why are you now saying you're going into fashion? And I was like, I can do it. I feel like this is my true passion. And they didn't understand at all. So
because to them, media was your true passion.
Was my true passion.
You had convinced them after 11 years, to get you to do media.
Let me come back home and do media. And then now I want to do fashion, So in the beginnings, even support from family wasn't so great. It was my sister that really believed in me and supported me from day one. When I told her about her dream, she said, you know what? You can do it. You are not one of those people I believe can do anything that you put your mind to. And I thank my sister, because if she had not said those words to me and she was like everybody else saying, you are confused, you don't know what you want in life,
I would have
given up, So all those challenges, sometimes people... So the first year, I didn't have a shop. Okay, I couldn't afford to rent a shop because I had high aspirations. So I wanted a shop in Osu. I didn't want to start in some corner.
Shop back where he threw, not back where Jeff.
In my head and in my
your
dreams.
head and in your dreams.
So I couldn't afford a shop, so I was working from the back of my car. So I'll close my radio work, and then I'll quickly visit people's homes and offices, because I used to use social media, especially Facebook. I'll take pictures, put them there. People say, bring them, let me have a look. And then my very first PA/store manager, Adiza. I know you've had on the show before. Adiza was Adiza was my first worker. She was a PA/store manager. Eventually, when I got a store, I made her a store manager. But before I even got a store, Adiza started working for me as my PA. So sometimes she'll go meet clients and everything. But there were times I'll go myself, and some of the ways some of them would treat you, it can put you off. You go to somebody's house, they look through all the bags, and they'll say, this is not the type I want. Me, I only use leather bags, so this into my bag. No, I won't buy. Oh, Stacey,
wash your petrol.
Wash your petrol, thank you. After you've moved your car, gone all the way to their office or their home, sometimes the person is really far. So I remember sometimes I'll get so upset. I'll get home and I'll say to myself, one day I'll have a shop and they'll come to me, then me too, I'll do, make sure me go and stuff like that. So yeah, those times were difficult times. Sometimes it just breaks you down. You feel like, maybe this thing is not sustainable. And then, but you encourage yourself, because I don't know, I just had this great passion for what I wanted to do. Before I started doing it, I started dreaming. I think I thought about it so much that
it was
I
always
started dreaming about it. And so I tell people, God puts it on my heart, because I started dreaming. I see all over the world people wearing my accessories, my jewelry, holding my bag, wearing my footwear. So I always said, no, that dream God showed me, it will come to life. So when I started getting global recognition, I just knew that this is God. The dream God put on my heart is coming to life. I've dreamed it into life and I've worked towards it, and the grace of God has helped me to actualize it. Yes, so the challenges, so many of them. Challenges with workers. Sometimes they steal your material. They will mess up your designs. Challenges with our foreign exchange. My shop is Nosu. I pay rent in dollars. When the dollar goes up, shop rent's going up. So the challenges are enormous. There's so many, but because of the passion I have for the work, that passion and love for the work keeps me going.
It's all about passion. We'll be right back after this break.
High Sense Kitchen Appliances. Imagine no ayambre. So we breakfast anopa. Ube here High Sense juicer, High Sense toaster. Opesa o mixing. Ube here High Sense blender, hand mixer. Oh no more. High Sense rice cooker. So open your share. And High Sense water dispenser. Any kettle. Where do you need to opesa kanishi? A High Sense microwave. Opesa chia the intentem so dia. High Sense air fryer. Now person steamer dia. Any High Sense steamer. Use High Sense vacuum cleaner. Kohronchensi ni musun tempa. High Sense dishwasher. Atadie dia betumi ayefe. High Sense iron. Abatnitin in kama. Your gas cooker, electric cooker, and the ceramic hobs. Matiti to say, boom! Everything 28th March, I come from 8th April, and your High Sense Kitchen Appliance promo! High Sense require them 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ufa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yang kwani stew dodwa ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. The steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix into writing and Sada. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Tasty Tom is giving out cash in the Tasty Tom Juiceika promo. Just check under the lid. When you buy a big can of Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can win from 5 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis cash with over 70,000 cash prizes available. Present your winning lead at any of our distributors' points nationwide to redeem your cash instantly through mobile money or call toll-free line 055 66 38 794 for assistance.
Promo lasts from now to March 2025. Terms and conditions apply. This advert is FDA approved.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month? Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection. I got.
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Hey, my best customers in here. Yes, baby.
Honey, men wash you away. Men to take away our back.
He's eating out again. Nancy, me trying tasting kuyi. Ya cry. Mommy, my new fella.
Tasty Tom seasoning powder.
Tasty Tom. Add the new seasoning powder saba. Chicken, stew, jollof, shrimp, beef. Udi edriani anete. A more natural aroma. She shaman kasa. The way it enhances the natural aroma. It no be small.
So what's the new season powder if it Tasty Tom dear? I trust them.
And there is no staining of fish, meat, or chicken. Delicious meals all the time. Why do you go to just stop? Me need those.
Tasty Tom seasoning powder.
New aroma.
New taste.
This is a new taste from Tasty Tom new seasoning powder.
Where's that the end?
Maybe I'm not anyway. Tasty Tom new seasoning powder. Flavor and taste. This advert is FDA approved.
Tasty Tom is giving out cash in the Tasty Tom Juiceika promo. Just check under the lid. When you buy a big can of Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can win from 5 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis cash with over 70,000 cash prizes available. Present your winning lead at any of our distributors' points nationwide to redeem your cash instantly through mobile money or call toll-free line 055 66 38 794 for assistance.
Promo lasts from now to March 2025. Terms and conditions apply. This advert is FDA approved.
Wait, your tomato mix. Wouldn't so one on pass. Still loud with tomato flavor no. No color changing like traffic lights. Bebaako, come on.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. The steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup.
Taste no so dear. On point. Flavor new.
And it doesn't color your meat or chicken. I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back, and we are still on our beautiful conversation with Selina Beth. The challenges, when I was running the shop, I was having my challenges. And there are times you just need to weigh your options and see which one works for you and just go with it. Then I did that and I realized online works best because you're not always available. Yeah. But when it's online, you see your stock, you see your money and all of that. Nobody will tell you nobody came when somebody came. Yeah. So with myself and my shop manager at that time, we're like, no, we think this should go online. It shouldn't be in person anymore.
And it's working for you,
and
right?
it's working. It's really working. You see your stock. If there is money, you know. If there is no money, you know, because your stock will be right there, staring at you in the face. Now, how did Daddy handle the success?
So, I think that moment, you can call it an aha moment for him when he felt like, oh, Selina is onto something. You know, my daughter is making it. She's getting there. Is when I was featured on the BBC's Focus on Africa in 2014. So I started a brand in 2012. I got my first shop in 2013. After a year of running it from my car boot and my bedroom, I managed to save some money, and then I got family to top up for me, and then I rented my first shop. And so then the following year, 2014, I went to the UK for my very first international exhibition. It was the Guba Expo, organized by Denta. Shout out to Denta. Thanks for the opportunity. So while I was in the UK, I got a call from someone at the BBC. And I was told they wanted to feature me on the Focus on Africa. Yes. Perhaps let me mention names. So the head of, I think, BBC Africa at the time was Vera Kwakufi. And Akwesi Sapon, who used to be at Joy FM as well, is my friend. So Vera and Akwesi, the two of them, it was a collaboration between the two of them, and they got me on the BBC for an interview, Focus on Africa. And at the time, I did not know the show was going to be featured that same day I filmed it. They told me it will be filmed maybe the following week. Yeah, I think they said the following week or something, yeah. And my parents were living in Italy at the time. They were in Rome. My dad was the ambassador to the Vatican at the time. So they were in Rome. So I didn't even tell them that I was going to the BBC. I was going to the BBC, honestly, because I thought it would be filmed the week after. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody. It will be a surprise. Then the BBC headquarters or their studios is just beside Oxford Circus, Oxford Street, which is like one of the shopping, should I say, mecca of the world. So after I finished my interview, I said, oh, let me go shopping, because the BBC actually sent a chauffeur-driven car to pick me up. And so after that, they were supposed to drive him back. But I said to the driver, no, I'm going shopping on Oxford Street. I can't come to the BBC, and Oxford Street is just 100 meters away. Shop. So I was on Oxford Street shopping when I got a call from my father. Hey, Adra, you're on BBC. I was like, what? He was like, yes, we're watching you. Me and your mom, you're on Focus on Africa. And I was like, really? And he was like, wow, you've really made it. I'm so proud of you. That was the
And I'm sure you were like, let me breathe.
I'm telling you, that was the turning point. I was like, wow. He actually told me he was proud of me. I said, wow. Then later on, my big brother took call and said, hey, Daddy called, and he said, hey, I trained you. I could be on BBC. So I think that was the moment that he realized that my daughter is, really onto something. I mean, before that BBC interview, he had started supporting small, as we say in Ghana. But after that, I got his full support. He realized that, no, my daughter has found a true passion. I still love the media. I still want to do some media work in the future. I think I have one documentary that's even running on GTV at the moment. I did a private production, yeah. So I still want that. But I really find so much joy in the fashion business that I'm doing, So yeah, that was the moment my dad really felt so proud and felt like I'm really onto something. This is my true passion, and I need all the support, and I'll just excel.
When it comes to fashion in Ghana, we have the trends. A time would come, it would all be about hair, and everybody would be doing hair. Another time would come, it would be about slippers, and everybody would be doing slippers. In your time, almost every young woman wanted to do their own bags.
Yes, it's true.
How did you manage that situation? Because some were also with some good finish. Talking of the likes of Anisia, yourself, there were a few good ones. You pick the bags and you're like, hey, we're free Ghana, or did they produce it out? Were you not threatened by the competition? Because there were times you'd meet your brand and someone else will look at your brand and do something close to it and sell it cheaper. How did you manage that situation?
Okay. Yes, it wasn't easy. The market was saturated back then, especially with people wanting to do African print bags. You know how we are, like you said, one person does it and they seem to be doing well, and then everybody thinks, oh, there's money in it. Let me also venture into that business. So there were a few of them doing it before me, but right after I started mine, there was a whole, what's the word to use? There was a whole lot of people who started doing these into my bags as well. So what I did was to stay one step ahead of everybody. You know, anytime, and yes, there were people who were taking inspiration, I would say copying from my designs, you know, same way I also took inspiration from some of the foreign designers. So, you know, sometimes you can't get too upset about these things. But it sometimes it's annoying. It's like anytime you do a design, next thing you know, somebody else has done it in order. So if I see that my design is out there, what I do is that I will step it up. I'll change it. I'll tweak it. I'll make something different about the design. And also, this same dear father of mine, or should I say my parents, when they realized that the business had taken off, they encouraged me to go learn my trade. And as I mentioned early on, my father was living in Italy at the time. So I actually enrolled in a fashion school in Rome. It's actually one of the best fashion schools in the world. And I learned how to actually cut patterns and sew bags. Because initially I was just using, you know, natural passion and creativity to do it. I didn't even know how to sew bags. I didn't know how to cut patterns. So it was my work is doing everything. And so they used to steal a lot as well. I was just supervising. And sometimes when you're not around, they'll tell you, oh, you give them leather that can do 10 bags. You come back and they say, we've done 5. You know, but since I learned my trade, now I know that, okay, you need this actual amount to make 5 bags or 10 bags. So it helps. So I actually learned my trade. And my role model as well, she also encouraged me. In fact, she was the first one I mentioned it. And my father was like, yes, you have to do this. That's Auntie Afi of Chandel Limited. Yes, Auntie Afi said, you know, Selina, go learn your trade. So nobody will say she doesn't even know how to sew and she's designing and all that. Yeah. So I learned my trade. So and because why I actually chose to go learn in Italy is because I wanted my bags to have Italian finishing. You know, when we talk about quality bags, we think of Italy. Italy has great leather there, and their leather bags are very high quality. And so I tell people my bags are made in Ghana, but with Italian quality because I'm Italian trained. You know, so I made sure that the quality was different. It stood out. And like you said, a lot of people still come to my shop and they're like, are you sure this is made in Ghana? You know, yes, because the quality, I try my best to make it top notch. You know, there's always room for improvement, but I believe that we are almost there, or we are getting there, you know, because I always try to, the good finishing is important to me. I hate poor finishing. I don't like mediocre things. I like to excel in everything I do. And that's one of the reasons I decided I wouldn't do law, because I realized I'm going to be a mediocre lawyer. Seriously. I didn't even have the discipline to do law because it requires you reading so much. Yes. So it was me making sure that I stayed one step ahead of everybody with my designs and how I marketed my products, and also paying attention to details and the quality. So it made my products stand out. So yeah, there are others that reproduced or had cheaper ones, but people still came to me because they knew that we're selling
knew what they were buying.
You get quality, you're buying quality.
I love your clutch purses. The last time I came to your shop, you had some with some finish that was mind-blowing. The cowries, and you had some that felt like beach sand. When you rub your hand on the clutch, you're like, oh my God, this feels so real. How do you put in effort sourcing the materials? Because they don't come cheap.
They're expensive. So with the beads and the cowries, I source them locally. But they're still not cheap because some of them, they bring them from, they outsource them. Some too are locally made. And so most of my beads I get from Makola Market. Sometimes I go to Kufuridia, to the Kufuridia bead market. Yes. And then when it comes to the bags, the leather, I use Italian leather. Yes, I use pure Italian leather for like 90% of my bags. Because guess what? When I first started, I used to I used to use both the Italian leather and some of the locally made leather from Bolga. But Ghanaians don't like the Bolga leather. Yes, because we don't have the technique to treat them well. So they have the smell.
A little smell.
They have the smell. So most Ghanaians don't like it. But the Italian ones are treated well and you don't smell anything. You smell maybe leather, but it's not how do I say? It's a pleasant
It's a
leather
pleasant
smell.
smell.
While some of the vulgar ones can smell a bit too fresh, So that I realized the locals do not like the locally made leather. They prefer the Italian leather. But guess what? The foreigners, they like the locally made leather. Because when they smell that heavy smell,
Then
it
they
makes
know
them
that
feel
it's
like
the
this is
real
raw
thing.
leather. And honestly, when you use the vulgar leather there's some quality to it. Honestly, I love them. They're soft and they can be so luxurious, but people prefer the Italian leather. Yeah. So buying leather from Italy, again, is expensive.
Exchange rates
It's
factor.
expensive. Yes, it's expensive. So when my parents lived in Italy, I used to go directly to the source, to the factories to buy from there. But even shipping to here is another wahala. But there are some locals that bring them in. Imports, yes, imports. They import them in. And I find that sometimes it's cheaper to buy from those that import them in because they import them in large quantities. Yes, and they've done it for years, so they know how to bring it in a cheaper way as well. So yes, it's expensive. It's not easy. It's expensive, but I take the pains to go out there, select the leather myself, select the beads, the fabrics I use, all the raw materials are all handpicked by myself. It's not easy. It's very time consuming. It's expensive. A lot of traveling. But because I want my products to be known for its quality and uniqueness, I do it.
Let's talk about your collaboration with Kofi Akoto.
Okay.
On Awariso. Why Awariso?
So Awariso because for some years now, I think it's been about 2 years now, I've observed that most of our traditional brides do not wear our accessories, especially the accessories made with our local beads, like what you're wearing right now.
Especially for their engagements.
Or traditional marriage, as we call them. So a lot of them wear all these beautiful, heavily beaded kente gowns. And I think they feel because their gowns are already beaded with beads, they don't need to wear necklace or accessories. Most of them will just wear some simple earrings. And it's most of the time foreign earrings rather than locally made earrings. And I feel like the beads are very much a part of our culture and hence our traditional marriage as well. In the past we even used to use the cowries to trade, the CD, the cowries, the shells. So I thought about it. I'm like, why don't I do a collection to show these brides that you can wear this beautifully beaded gowns, heavily beaded gowns, so nicely done, and still wear the beads. It's fine because it's your day, it's your marriage ceremony. So it doesn't matter even if you look a bit over the top. Because look at the Nigerians. Look at a Nigerian traditional bride. Look at the way they Look at the way they pack themselves with these beads, and they are just one way. It's just the coral beads they have. And we are lucky. We have the kobo beads, we have the agri beads, we have cowries, we have jade, we also have the cowries as well. Not cowries, coral. We have coral beads as well. But with the Nigerians, they only have the coral beads. So every time you see them, it's the coral beads, the red and orange ones. They even put them in their hair. But we don't do that. So I was like, the bead, most times, the most you see is maybe they wear the beads on their wrist. But most of them,
I love what you're wearing on your wrist.
Thank you. These are trade beads or what you call agri beads.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is what you call iron pankasa.
Oh.
They are very expensive. And these are handed down for years. Most of these beads are hundreds of years old.
Wow.
Sometimes even thousands of years old. Yeah. And so they're very expensive, but they're quality beads.
Oh, don't worry. By the time we're done with the interview, I think 3 will be in my collection.
Hey,
but I'm just everyone, sir. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. No problem. So I thought, no, that I must do something about it. I make accessories. People know me for the beads, not just the bags. Why don't I do a collection of just bead necklaces and bead accessories, basically that traditional brides can wear. And like I told you, I've started making clothes myself, but I do mostly ready to wear, simple things like what I'm wearing. So occasionally I've had some brides ask me to do kente gowns for them and I've done them, but that's not my forte. And I also believe in the power of collaboration. So when I decided to do the accessories collection, I said to myself, when the brides, the models or the muses I'm going to use wear these accessories, they need to wear them with kente gown.
Yeah.
So people will see that, yes, I can wear my
You
kente
can
gown
actually rock it
and wear with
with
the
it.
beads. Yeah, because the kente gowns goes nicely with the beads. The beads actually are supposed to go
like
with
what I'm rocking now.
Yes.
And this is very beaded,
And it's
heavily beaded, but it's
and still you're
so
wearing a
nice.
necklace and it
Yeah.
looks beautiful. So I thought, Kofi Akutia, Kofi is my younger brother. He's my friend. I have collaborated with him on a personal level. I've done a couple of photo shoots for myself with him where he made the clothes and I did the accessories. I said, I've seen Kofi making some beautiful kente gowns for some people. Why don't I collaborate with Kofi? And he was ready to jump on board. I told him he was excited about it. In fact, he even started pushing me because one of my weaknesses is I procrastinate a lot. So one day Kofi just
Kofi will give you the pressure.
Kofi just came to my shop with his iPad. It's like, Selly, let's get this done, And just there, within a day or a few hours, we just put we put our thoughts together. We decided on the looks we're going for, and then we decided to collaborate with some of our celebrities, female celebrities, to rock them for us because we wanted the campaign to go far.
Yeah.
So yes, we looked at them and then we felt like this person will go with this outfit. This person, yes, and then. We also collaborated with a friend of mine who is into decor, Lamore Bella. And Lamore said, Selina, why don't you people actually do
like
the
a
different
proper
tribes?
setup?
Yes, a setup. Yes, we brought her on board to do a setup. And then she said to us, she gave us the idea that why don't you do like an Ashanti bride, a Ghana bride, an Arab bride? I'm like, yeah, that's true. And she was like, yes. So we did that. We have an Ashanti bride. We have, is it okay if I mention the names?
Yes.
Jocelyn Duma was our Ashanti bride. We have an Akan bride, which is Nikki Samunes. Because we did an Akan bride because, the Akans are not just Ashantis. There are lots of years. And if we're going to do all the tribes in Ghana, even the 5 we did, it was costly. And so we did an Akan bride, we did a Ghana bride, Ewe bride, and then a Northern bride. Northern bride was Salma Mumin, Caroline Sampson was the Ghana bride, Seligali was Ewe bride, and then Nikki was Akan, and Jocelyn was Ashanti. So we did all that, and that's how it came about, basically. It was just that...
and it was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was beautiful. So I'll just want my viewers to have a feel of the collection and the brides. Then we'll come back to the conversation.
Thank you.
Toboli, nega bejeje vielo. Toboli, nega gle anyeji. Toboli, nega nyo anyeji. Toboli, mega favile zamenamo. Mega favile zamenamo. Dade na hogwe la siyo na blo. Definyelo, Toboli. Nega bejeje vielo. Toboli, nega bejeje vielo. Toboli, nega gle anye.
Ane nyangu kwa mi asasura. Ogumi nyami e no gura yensukom. Wo nyami e nya wani amen. Amonso mo we nyami e. Uto nsuo na abo awia. Wacha so nyami e wonu epem. Ye eja do nu epem o dasire. Ye papa do nu epem o. Ane nyangu kwa ni e wonu epem o. Ye eja do nu epem o dasire. Ane nyami o ya die ye wradie. Wacha so nyami e wonu epem o. Oduma kuma nyame wo sa yeye. Obeya mawe didi ala no ya na ne nyame beya mawo didi ala no ya woni. Obeya mawe didi ala no ya na ne nyame beya mawo. Ne nyakupo kwa mi asasura ogumi nyame e no gura yensukom. Wo nyame e nya wa ne amen. Amonso mo we nyame e uto nsuo na abo awia wacha so nyame wonu epem ye eja do nu epem o dasire ye papa do nu epem o ane nyakupo.
That is incredible, Selena.
Thank you.
You've done well. And I'm begging all upcoming brides that you should call Selena. I mean, this is just beautiful. Just get your dress. Because when she came, she just saw my outfit and she just did my movement. And look at me now. So please, let's promote made in Ghana brands and products. That's all we have. I mean, if you want to go buy gold, gold is nice and all of that. But be an outstanding bride. Be a bride that truly represents her tribe. And so please, when you are ready, when he proposes, make sure you're getting in touch with Selena to hook you up with the best beats that you can find. As it stands now, the beats may be referenced. Selena, so if anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they contact you?
First of all, thank you so much, Stacy.
You're welcome, my
letting
love.
people know that, Selena, bare beads are the way to go when you're getting married. So to get in touch with us, we're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and X. It is at Selina Babe. The shop is also located in Osu, behind Photo Club. First left turn after Photo Club, third building on your left. And also, when you put Selina Babe into Google Maps, it will bring you straight to our flagship store in Osu.
Just behind the Photo Club.
Just behind Photo Club.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Selena. So before I let go of you, it's time for you to pick a card. Kindly pick a card. Let's see what you're taking home.
Okay. I give it to you?
Yes. Thank you for coming. You take home an air fryer. Yay! Okay, Selena. Go, Sally.
Yay!
Go, Sally. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
this is from Hisense to
Thank you so much.
my dear sister.
Oh, thank you, Hisense
You're
and
welcome.
Stacy.
You're
I love
welcome, my
this. I
love.
really need this. Thank
Oh, you do?
I do. Yeah, healthy, I'm trying to eat
Healthy eating, the
healthy
way
eating.
to go.
Yeah.
The way to go.
I can even do my kelewele in the air fryer.
Hey, right, when we are doing. Well, thank you very much for joining us. A big thank you to our sponsors, Malta Guinness, Tasty Tom, Yas Washing Powder, and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hisense, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Big thank you to my glam team, ABS Lux Line, Hair Duties, Stars Hair, and oh yes, my girl Tinaj Beauty. She's always popping around somewhere to see if your face is getting oily. Tina, you're amazing. Thank you very much, Tinaj Beauty. And of course, today I have been beautifully accessorized by the wonderful Selina Beth. Always do remember, you can do all things. Yes, I was going to say all things. And you know how I was going to end it. I was just about to forget this thing that I do with my Tasty Tom tomato mix. Selena, there is no way you are going without doing this. So it's all yours. Yes.
Okay.
So are you ready? I know you've been
what do
watching.
I do?
So I'm going to count to 10.
Okay.
And by the time I'm done with 10, the number of sachet you have actually tore out is all yours.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, how many did you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And also this one as well.
Oh, Selena, that was after 10. It's called cheating. I'm a fair electoral commissioner.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Selena.
Thank you.
So we'll see you next
so
week.
much.
Always do remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Don't forget to go out for your Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix.